Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Eh? Then? Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Your mic is off. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Size, you know. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Pranam, pranam. Yesterday we were talking about some of the preparatory measures, starting from remembering grace, that is the first and foremost. That is the first and foremost preparation we have to make. Even these words are now being uttered. All our eyes see, all the sense organs become active only because of him. By his grace, we are now remembering him. That's the first one. Then comes One
second, sound.
What happened to the screen? No, it was there. Can you see that?
Screen. Presentation.
Are you in a position to see that? Okay, it's all right. Okay. So becoming aware of God's grace, then understanding what Ram stands for. Papa is introducing the word Ram in his first article in the first book called In Quest of God. Unless and until we have this foundation, we will not be very clear. The foundation is to know what Ram stands for. Entire edifice is built upon that. We have tried to understand everything except this. That is why we have not been able to progress. So what Ram stands for? Ram stands for the subtle and mysterious power, because of which everything becomes activated. And then comes connecting Ram with the spirit, Atman. So he is also called the spirit. Previously, it was easy for us to research on the spirit. 1,00,000 times a day, the heart beats. 1,20,000 kilometers, the blood circulates. Breathing goes on. So we try to understand. All those things were explained to know what is their spirit. Elaborately it was discussed. Hope everybody remembers. The greatest creation, the greatest gift of God is this human body, working under the direct supervision of the spirit. Our hearts beats about 1,00,000 times a day and about 35 million times a year. It pumps 6 liters of blood through 1,20,000 kilometers of blood vessels in a day. In 1 second, we are producing 1.2 millions, 12 lakhs of red blood cells to replace an equal number that die in 1 second. Our digestive and metabolic systems have been our digestive and metabolic system have the remarkable ability to transform the food we eat into bone, blood and body. The air which we breathe but cannot see contains oxygen which is exchanged for the excess of carbon dioxide inside and then thrown out without us even knowing it. Maria. So the same power, Ram spirit, which is responsible for these inner movements, is responsible also for our outer movements. So from there we moved. So what Ram stands for, and the Ram and the spirit, now me and Ram. Throughout the entire tour, Ramdas felt at every step that this great Master Ram was guiding and determining all circumstances and events in his itinerary. Ram, who controls the destiny of all lives, was here mysteriously at work. In fact, he made all the plans looking to the minutest detail and carried them out himself with alertness, skill and care. In everybody, Kindly think, not only in one person. Ramdas played two parts. The me and Ram, we are trying to understand. Ramdas played two parts in discharging the great mission with which God entrusted him. Firstly, as an eternal witness of the world drama, a witness who was dispassionate, unaffected, pure, blissful. Secondly, as an actor on the world stage, who performed his role in consonance with the divine initiative and will by spreading both the unique message of universal love and service. Ramdas, being one with Ram, knew he was everybody and everything, for Ram had granted him the realization that he, Ramdas, and the world are not different. So from there we moved to reliance on inner Guru. IQG in-depth study teaches us this. This is very, very important. Unless these are now imbibed, these are assimilated by us, we will not be able to bridge it. We will not be able to build more and more on it. This is the foundation. Grace, what Ram stands for, connection between Ram and Spirit, connection between me and Ram. So he is inside. So I should ask him everything. That is why Papa says that inner Guru, inner Guru, inner Guru. Of course, to know all these things we need an outer Guru. So we are not belittling the importance of the outer Guru form. Retaining our outer Guru's form, we try to follow what the outer Guru says. He says that Guru is within. One must take. Ramdas never joined any organization for his spiritual path. Guru within him mysteriously guided him, made everything easy for God realization. So it is clear that our guide in such matters must be the Guru within us and not without. Then we move to right concept of the usage of Papa in the place of Ram. Those of us who have been closely associating with Anandashram, ever since we started seeing Puja Mataji, Mataji always uses the word Papa. Papa, we all know that Papa is Swami Ramdas's form. So we got stuck or we got confused. So we are now we tried to dig out. Then we came to know Mataji herself said that whenever I thought of God as Ram, I felt God was away from me. But when I thought of God as Papa, I felt his nearness. So I went and told Papa accordingly. Then he said, If you can't think of him as Ram, dwell on him as Papa. Ram and Papa are not different. At the same time, Papa warned us, have Ramdas in your thoughts as the impersonal, immutable, deathless, cosmic spirit. And give up attachment to external forms. Directly you do this, you will attain liberation and immortal joy and peace within yourself. Don't substitute a golden chain for an iron one. Both are cause of bondage. That means, bluntly he says, if you are attached to this particular form, it is a bondage. And we come to know that the greatest hurdle for this is the me and mine. So when we try to understand that right from the birth, right till this moment, though the me and mine has been arrogating, that it is the doer or the enjoyer, we should know that behind this sense of individuality, there is that mysterious power. Whatever name we call it as God or Ram or Papa or Atman or Brahman, otherwise we will not exist. So by hammering this to brain as many times as possible in a day, probably we may be able to bring down the predominance of the me and mine. Only when the me and mine stays away, we will become aware of his presence. So there is a curtain. The curtain is me and mine. This they have emphasized. Then up to that we came yesterday. Today the last one in the first category, in the category of what you call it? Preparatory measures. The last one is spiritual disciplines to be undertaken not for worldly achievements. Mostly when we have some problem, we will do extra Ramnam, no? Or somebody may do some puja, some prada, something. Everything is okay, initially for the sake of one's soul, but later on, no. It should be only for knowing that he is within, then nothing else is needed, you know. Then I don't have to do anything extra. So my entire sadhana should be focused on this only. If it is for worldly matters, again I am distancing myself from him. When he has given me this much, will he not know what should be given to me? Even the very human birth has been given to me by him. He has brought me up. Through his other creation, he has brought me up to this level. We all know that we are all interconnected, interdependent. Means what? Through his creation only what we are now. So every now and then when the me and mine comes to assert that I have done this, I have done that, I have this capability, immediately we should be able to say, you are nothing, you are what you are because of the power behind this. So we should devise some method by which the dominance of me and mine is reduced to the minimum, and then finally erase the self. We should erase itself. Self-effacement should take place. So the many undergo severe disciplines for gaining name, fame, power, wealth, security, and other achievements. We all have that unknowing that tendency, you know. When I become this, I will do that, no. We go to many temples and offer so many hours. Initially, yes, like children. Later on, we should know when we prayed, he heard our prayer and blessed us with this. Suppose we pray for him inside. We have understood that He is omnipotent, He is omnipresent. He is capable of giving us. So if He and me become one, then what else I need? So initially we may have the tendency, but later on it should be directed towards Him only, not for any worldly matters. Vinod Papa says, if you repeat Ram Nam without any desire for worldly things, then at the very start you will find it sweet like a nectar, it catches you. You cannot give it up. Any power you get by repeating Ram Nam is wasted in getting worldly things. Peace is not to be picked up in streets. You must surrender to God and not wish for anything in the world. Then only it becomes exclusive, Ananya Bhakti. We don't want anything else, only you. It may be very difficult, but we have to try. Because you are everything. So far I was thinking that you are different from me, so I have been praying for this and that. Now that you have made me aware that you and me are, I am only a sprout under you, then what is the need for me to pray for this and that? Is that clear to everybody? So these are all named as preparatory measures. Let us not be too technical. There may be so many, but at least we have picked up 888. If we remember the title, then we remember all these narrations. What are the titles? Grace, correct. Ram's understanding Ram, yes, then?
Connecting Ram with spirit.
Connecting Ram with spirit.
Spirit, connecting Ram with spirit. Correct.
Connecting Ram with sense of individuality.
Ram and me. Yes.
Ram and yes, sense of.
Then.
Relying on inner Guru.
Relying on inner Guru, perfectly right.
Subdue our me and mind.
Subdue the me and mine.
Accepting the situation.
Pardon?
Substitute Papa for Ram.
Yes.
Mataji is that Papa and Ram, there should not be any confusion. Whatever we understand as Ram is Papa. Whatever we understand Papa is Ram. There is no difference between Papa and Ram.
Surrender to God, Ananya Bhakti.
Chari. Pinna. One more.
Mamaji, accepting the situation.
Now these points today, 8 point. Disciplines.
Accepting the situation.
No, accepting the situation, no.
No.
Disciplines.
Spiritual disciplines are not to be undertaken for worldly things, worldly achievements, worldly attainments. This should be very, very clear. Mataji, because she is a mother of all, would have encouraged us, suppose somebody says, my daughter is not getting married, alliance is not, every time when it comes, it slips away. Then Puja Mataji used to say 21,000 times for 21 days, then again 21,000 for 21 days, and again 21,000 for 21 days. So is it not for worldly? Yes. But why did she say that? That is the only way by which, we can slowly move towards that. By the time when the marriage takes place or alliance comes up, then you become aware when we pray it is heard. To whom did we pray? To Ram who is seated within. Suppose we try to link with him always, where is the need for any prayer? Like that we will be able to do that. So Mataji, because she was also an earthly mother to everybody, she used to prescribe like this. Only Ram Nam, nothing else. Rama Saptag. So suppose always there are tension in the house, so many restlessness are there, then she will say, 3 days you do Akhand Ram Nam. Puja Swamiji also used to write, something untoward is happening in our house, what to do? Then we used to say, take 1 week of Rama Saptah, morning 6 to evening 6. All these things are worldly agreed, but these are all the things by which we are made to know that the God within, Ram who is within, is touched, kindled and asked. So suppose then we know that he is the protector, he is the giver. Then if he becomes mine, there is no need for me to pray. This is very important for all of us. Okay, then we move to the next category. What is the next category?
Wandering.
Ponder simultaneously on. You can see the board now?
No, sir.
No, okay.
We are not seeing it, sir.
Okay. We should know of your and the world's origin. Know of your and world's origin. No, it is there. No, so Papa says, try to enter, it is here now, try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. This is a very important point, which is not important. Okay, we will say this is more important for some time to come. Again, after some time, I will say this is the most important. Try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. To arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind, intellect, and embarking on the realm of the spirit, realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. Origin. This is one way to connect ourselves with the Ram, who is within. When we ask ourselves as to how we came into being, normally our answer would be our parents. A little in-depth study will reveal that our parents were also born because of their parents. Like the 2 or 3 generations we might be able to identify. That means though our parents may be instrumental cause of our birth, the journey started from the origin of the first uncaused cause, the seed, about which our intellect cannot comprehend. However, through 5 slokas, Lord Krishna explains in Srimad Bhagavad Gita the above mentioned word seed, which is the origin of all creations, including us. In chapter number 7, slogan number 10, he says, O Arjuna, know that I am the eternal seed of all beings. We should know he is not an entity. When he says I, we should replace it with the subtle and mysterious power. I am the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intellect of the intelligent, the splendor of the glorious. Bijam mam sarvabhudanam. In next, similarly in chapter number 9, sloka number 18, he says, I am the supreme goal of all living beings. I am also their sustainer, master, witness, which were not known to us till then. Abode, shelter, friend. I am the origin. I am the end. I am the resting place of a creation. And finally he says, I am the repository and eternal seed. Similarly, in chapter number 10, sloka number 39, we have that Gita book. Bijam mam sarvabhudanam vidhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimadhamasmi tejas tejasvinamam. That is the first sloka, okay? The second sloka, ninth chapter 18. Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrud Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. I am the supreme goal of all living beings. Gadir Bharta. Gadir Bharta Prabhu, I am the Lord. Sakshi, I am the eternal witness. Nivasaha, the abode. Sharanam, shelter. Suhrit, friend. Prabhava Pralayasthanam. I am the origin, end and resting place of creation. Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. I am the repository and eternal seed. A seed which does not undergo any change, Avyayam. And the next one, in 10, sloka number 39. Ten. I think there is some confusion. Fourteen it is there, but in 10 also there is there, no? I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you. One minute, please hold on. Yachavi sarvabhudanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti. Why it is not coming in Malayalam? Yachavi sarvabhudanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayasya maya bhudam charajaram. I am the generating seed of all beings, O Arjuna. No creature or moving or non-moving can exist without me. And then we move to the 14. Mamayunir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarvabhudanam tato bhavati bharata. My womb is the real Brahman. In it I place the seed. From that, O Bharata, is the birth of all beings. That is the third. And the fourth, Sarvayonishu Kaunteya, Murtaya Sambhavandiyaha, Tasam Brahma Mahadyoni, Aham Bija Prada Pida. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. So there may be so many shlokas in so many shastras, but this is a ready reckoner for Bhagavad Gita. So when we try to understand our origin, normally we feel that our parents, so it must have started from somewhere, because they are also, they were there, they quit. So they, who, like us, where from they have come, their parents, their parents, their parents. The intellect cannot reach, so we surmise, we infer that they should start from an uncaused cause. There should be a beginning. We don't know that beginning. So at the moment we go to the Shastras and we believe, and then we pursue our inward journey to find the truth. So Papa wanted every one of us to go to our origin. This is a very important point in a spiritual journey. Then we come to know that it is from Ram, that the subtle and mysterious power that everything has emerged. So simultaneously we have to ponder on what are they? Our origin. We have to keep on bringing this into our mind. He will mysteriously lead us, 100% sure, guarantee. The very fact that these have been there, it has been connected to us now and presented to us, facilitated to us because of His grace only. Lord Krishna conveyed this to Arjuna 5,000 years ago, according to what we have been told. Now it is available to us in the form of a small book. You see the facilitation. Previously we were told it was through conveying, through words, they memorize. When a stage came when the memory power was getting round, then only they started writing in the palm leaves. And from there, it evolved into this present day printing. So we can imagine now the one which we are reading from the book, how it has passed through. Everything that we see in the book, you see in the form of a book. It was either in the form of a thought, and through thought, probably it must have been a lecture. It would have been recorded, somebody would have noted down. When Papa was on foreign tour, Puja Swamiji was with him. He had learned typewriting and shorthand. He had a portable typewriter. So he used to tell us, he used to go and sit not with Papa. He will go to a place where the mic is very clear, and from there, hearing that, he will use to type. And today we have got the 5 books, lectures of Swami Ramdas. But it came out from Papa, Thoughts expressed in the form of words, and now it become a printed matter, so that it will be used for the posterity, not only for the audience then. So like that, we try to go back to the source of everything. How a coconut tree has come, it is before us. Suppose we go to the vegetable garden, we know how the bindi has come, how the various types of beans has come. We plant, and it produces so many seeds. While we take it for our sabji, we also leave a few beans, to dry and to become seed. Again we put it. So from one seed it has come to this level. Similarly, we also should have come from that one seed. So we try to slowly see the common denominator in everybody and everything. The Ram, the mysterious power, is not only in me, but also in everybody. He is the source, he is the origin, he is the bijam, he is the eternal seed. And through Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it will become more and more clearer and clearer and clearer. Then the next thing Papa touches through IQG is Jnanottara Bhakti. The 2 years of his struggle, intense struggle, which God prompted him to undertake, was purely an internal struggle. He was able to finally, he was blessed to have the experience of feeling Ram within, totally, which is Nirguna Niragar. It has no name and form. It is behind every name and form. But this is called the path of knowledge. Any attempt to go within, it is a path of knowledge, because we are not looking upon anything from outside. Only with our penetrating intellect and mind, we try to go within, step by step, and find out the core of our being, the origin of our being. Na aham, this is, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Then so hum, I am this, I am this, I am this. This sort of exercise, by which I try to understand the nameless, formless, eternal spirit. And when he came out of this, he saw the entire world, entire creation as the Saguna Swarup. It has got a name and form. So he was able to connect up the nameless, formless to the name and form. Parabhakti. He named it as Parabhakti or Jnanottara Bhakti. Let us see what he says. While beloved Papa was seeing the divine self as pervading every particle of the universe, he experienced simultaneously that same infinite as a personal God, his beloved Ram, speaking to him, guiding him in an utterly personal way. Pure knowledge will undoubtedly burn to ashes all the impurities in the mind. and along with it, it will burn down the mind itself. But when associated with the weak flesh, its power proves to be inadequate. Vinobaji says this. At the level, when we transcend the thought level, everything is okay. But we come down to the individual level, the body level. At that time, the confusion will come again. We are seeing another object. So that is why bhakti, devotion is necessary. Though it is non-dual, it is also dual. But when associated with the weak flesh, its power proves to be inadequate. It cannot wash away subtle impurities. One has to take recourse to bhakti for this purpose. No doubt the path of jnana enables one to know his or her origin, but the sweetness of that experience need not necessarily be there if it is not combined with bhakti. Only when the duality is there, enjoyment of sweetness can be had. When I eat sugar, then I can definitely enjoy the sweetness. Only when the duality is there. Otherwise, who is there to enjoy? So only when the duality is there, enjoyment of sweetness can be had. So scaling the heights through jnana should simultaneously result in developing the loving devotion and non-dual realization profoundly juxtaposed in the living experience of beloved Papa.
We get stuck with the duality.
We got stuck with the duality. We have not understood the non-dual principle. That is why here there is no outer puja or anything, no idol worship. Not that it is wrong, but it halts our progress. We stop with it. We get some sentimental, emotional satisfaction. During that period, we feel the moment we go out of that, we are back to square one. So Papa wanted that Nirguna aspect to be rooted within us, stamped within us, and then it is not merely Nirguna. When we come out, we see somebody asked Papa, there is no idol worship. He said everybody is a moving idol. So instead of worshipping an unmoving idol, we try to worship the moving idol by loving and serving them. This is called Jnanottara Bhakti. Jnana is needed, but Bhakti is also needed. Both should combine. Sattva-guna entitles the devotee to the grace of the Lord or a saint, and through this grace he is lifted beyond all gunas and comes, so to say, face to face with the Atman, who realizes as his real being and existence. This is called jnana or moksha. The knowledge of the Atman liberates the bound soul from the vicious circle of birth and death, grants him unchanging eternal bliss and peace. It is then the higher bhakti, it is then that the higher bhakti, which is termed as parabhakti, dawns on him. When Pujya Mataji was made to go through in Kasaragod, various stages, various steps. A stage came when the inward journey became so dominant. For 3 or 4 hours she was in the state and she refused to come down. Then Papa told her, no, it is not complete then. So long as we are embodied, it has to come down to the body level. And then how do we keep up? Entire thing is his creation. To give us some taste of it, in Bhagavad Gita, Vibhuti Yogam and Vishwarupa Darshanam. So he showed,
Why is it necessary to come down?
Why did he told
Why
that?
is it necessary to come down?
Why is it necessary to come down?
otherwise it doesn't become complete.
Coming down
We
and
may
maintaining
think,
the...
we may think that going within and staying there is the last. But we will drop the body only when it is destined. So naturally, after some time, it comes down to the level of body only. We have seen, we are telling all these things because Papa came down, to the body level.
But they are able to maintain...
Otherwise, we will not be able to know, Think about it. If everybody comes and stays there, how will we know? So if it has to be passed on to the others, other creation, only a human being, a living human being, will be able to talk to another human being. Even if it is recorded, the recorded should be done by a living human being, Think about it. So it can be passed on only through the human being which God has given. So that is why after realization also we come down. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, Swamiji, so much grateful for such people. Yes, the saints are really our destiny, that's all.
Our saints are our destiny, now we understood.
Otherwise, how will we know? How can the Shastras come? Shastras can come only through that human being, God through human being brings out all these, whether it is secular or spiritual.
No, if they start coming down, what will happen to them?
What will happen to them if they stay like that?
Hypothetical. Yes, you are right. We have heard a few of people, those who have attained the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, they remain there. They become one with the cosmic reality and drop the body. But somebody with the body knows this and declares that they have dropped the body.
Swamiji, reference in June 22, words of Puja
June
Mataji
22,
Krishna Pai, very well picturized. He who gets Sakshata after perfectly purifying oneself can alone be really sweet, loving, adorable, and not any other who gets the experience before perfect purification. It shows that until one gets this Shashadala, there is every chance of a fall and the experience will be transient, like the one gets when the Kundalini reaches Saman Brukati, loses all that one has gained. So it is said that Sakshatkar can be had only when Papa from within wills it. So it is very nice, the portion has come from Mataji.
Take it. So we have to understand this, that jnana leads us to bhakti also. It is very important. In bhakti only there are two. Only that through the activity can come. Otherwise activities will not come. When we say Papa or Mataji or this Mahatma or that Mahatma or this Shastra, Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads or anything, Vedas, it is all the revelations of the evolved souls. If the evolved souls remain there at that level, we will not get it. So common sense says now, unless and until they come down to this level, individual level, and share their revelations in their own way, it is so powerful even today because it has come from their revelations. It is not a knowledge. It is from their experience. Even many of the, say, Tyagaraja Kirtana or Purandaradasa Kirtana or Mirabai song, even today it is enjoyed by everybody, even though you would have heard it, because it is not a composition. It is a revelation of their experience. So it can come only when they come down to the body level. Is that clear? That is important.
Yes,
So the oneness of life. The Nirguna Tattva enabled him to see his nameless, formless, all-pervading Ram everywhere. But at the same time, the world manifestation represents the Saguna Tattva. After attaining jnana, the bhakta looks upon the whole universe as God himself. This is to rise from the individual level to the cosmic level. Jnanottara bhakti.
One doubt I have.
Eh?
We pray to Saguna Bhava.
Another
Suppose we are praying and are we not indirectly praying to Saguna Bhava also?
We are not hearing it properly.
Swamiji, you mute the
Suppose we
audio. This
pray
I
to
will.
Saguna Bhava of Guru,
Eh?
are we not without knowledge praying to Saguna Bhava also, Swami?
Nirguna Bhava also, Saguna Bhava. What do you, will you please tell again? Can you repeat?
By praying to Saguna Bhava of Guru, are we not praying to Nirguna Bhava also?
When we pray to Saguna Rupa, Nirguna also, are we not praying to Nirguna also? Saguna, Nirguna.
Only that person knows whether he has got that Nirguna Tattva rooted in him. When we keep on praying through the Saguna Bhava, whether I am getting rooted in the Nirguna Bhava, only that person. Now, Puja Mataji wanted us to read 11 times of In Quest of God. She said that is to introduce the devotee to the Nirguna Tattva. Book is tangible, palpable, no? We individuals are also subject to decay, death. We are trying to read to know the Nirguna Tattva. Whether through Saguna we are trying to understand the Nirguna. Whether we have understood it or not, who will know? Only that person knows. When we go to the temple, actually it is not Saguna, it is Nirguna, height of Nirguna. Because it doesn't speak, it doesn't react, it doesn't expect. Nothing is there, no? Whatever is offered is taken back. It is, as Vinobaji says, it is the height of Nirguna. But we call it a Saguna. Think about it. Early morning, right from the removing of whatever that has been offered yesterday, Nirmalya Darshanam. And then we give a bath, Abhishekam, then offer so many things, clothes, flowers, then various pujas. And then the night, what do? Next day we remove it. Idol will not say, don't remove it. Idol will not talk. Idol will not say anything. It is Nirguna. We call it a Saguna.
Swamiji, Swamiji, why does organization look down upon Saguna Bhakti?
Why organization look down upon Saguna Bhakti?
No, we should not look down upon Saguna Bhakti. We have innumerable Bhaktottamas who have scaled through Saguna Radhana. We cannot rule out, belittle anything. They may be seeing Krishna in everybody, but it is Krishna who has. Their devotion to that particular Saguna Bhava on Krishna resulted in seeing Krishna everywhere. So there are in every state many who have scaled the heights through Saguna Radhana. But ultimately, we can interpret it as Nirguna Radhana.
We'll close this computer and keep running. Sound, for sound, we'll keep this closed.
Dohat. What is Dohat?
So the sound.
Eh?
I
Ah.
Please repeat it.
That is
That
the-
is, commits doha or jnana marga and not saguna marga.
Hmm?
Jnana marga, not Saguna marga. Kabir's doha.
Varieties are there. It is for us to choose. If you see, if you go to Moko Kaha, he removes everything, you know.
Yes.
Finally, he says it is the faith. But there are certain instances where many people have scaled through Saguna Radhana. In every,
Tulsi is known for
in every,
Tulsi is known for saguna.
eh?
Tulsi.
Tulsidas is Saguna.
Tulsidas is for saguna marga.
So it is for us to choose. We are now talking about what the in-depth study of IQG reveals to us.
Yes.
There, Papa is harmoniously blending both the Saguna and Nirguna. He gives equal importance for Saguna, but only ensures that we don't get stuck there. Stuck in the sense we only see in that particular form, the godliness. We all know that is happening in our life. To see Balaji, we go to Tirupati, whereas Balaji is in everybody's heart. But our mind will not be satisfied with that. And we limit Mataji only in, Balaji only in Tirupati temple. So this risk, Papa said, no, we will not have. So we will have only the Nirguna Tattva, the Saguna, and at the same time not ruling out Saguna. The entire creation is Saguna. Entire creation is Saguna. So Saguna is there. And even in Quest of God also, he has revealed it. When he went to Jagannath Puri, when he was taken to in front of the idol, he said, he lost body consciousness. Through Saguna, he was able to get the Nirguna aspect. If you go through that...
Swamiji?
Oh.
Swamiji?
1 minute. Jagannath Puri I will read.
Yes. I agree.
Swamiji said, one person comes and takes Papaji inside, holds his hand. Panda.
Ramdas, it was like a dream, A tall Brahmin took him by hand, led him to the door, using all his strength. He pressed himself through the thick crowd and making a passage, conducted the bewildered Ramdas along with him. It all appeared like a dream. Ramdas had now become unconscious of his body and plunged into communion with the Almighty Ram. In about 5 minutes, he was standing before the big idol of Jagannath. The Brahmin is still holding him by the hand. Ramdas laid his head at the feet of his idol. O Ram, what words can convey thy kindness to thy slave? All glory to thee. All along, while going round, he was immersed in a strange of ecstasy, tears flowing down profusely from his eyes. What a joy indescribable. One moment of that existence outweighs all the pleasures of the world. So this was his experience when he was taken to the Sanctum Sanctorum and placed before the idol, Jagannath.
As if God has taken him inside.
No, God is there, everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. So Papa is not willing.
One
Padmaji, your audio is not audible.
express form Saguna. So all the expressed forms are Saguna.
Correct.
And all the unexpressed, Avyakta are maybe Guna.
Okay, correct.
Swamiji, see, it is told Papa is in everybody, Papa Mataji is in everybody, you are in everybody. That also indicates Sagunam.
Ah.
Is not Subdue?
Papa Mataji is in everybody. Papa Mataji with that form they cannot be in anybody, no.
Even
So what is the spirit behind? What is the spirit behind? The subtle and mysterious power in Papa, in Mataji, in God, in you, in me as one and the same.
So that is also Nirguna, isn't it?
Nirguna. Nirguna at the level of what you call when we pass beyond the boundaries of the mind, it is Nirguna. When we come down to the individual level, it becomes Saguna. That's all.
That is experience.
Just we can easily understand like this. When it is past thoughts, thoughts cannot enter. That is Nirguna Tattva. And when we come down to the thought level, we see everything as is Saguna. That is why Papa said to love all is the true bhakti of God, to serve all is the real worship of God. Anyway, this is a very important point. We have to keep on churning. Then only it will remove whatever concepts we have developed so far. And then the new concept is slowly getting cleared and clarified. Tomorrow also we will take up the Jnanottara Bhakti. It's a very important thing. Very important thing.
We are talking about 4 points: preparatory measures, pondering, sadhana, and daily practice. In that, in first point, 8 points we have covered. In second one, have we covered 2 points today, is it?
Today, yeah. 2 points we have covered. Simultaneously, we must go through. So go through. That's what we have written. Simultaneously. The first one was after finding out.
Simultaneously on your and worldly origin.
That means world origin. So that is then the Jnanottara Bhakti. 2 points we seem to have covered. Technically we have covered, but whether we have covered or not, only each one will know. Tomorrow also we will try to dwell upon it. Very important, very important. This should be very clear, because then only the chanting of Ram Nam becomes effective. Because only through Ram Nam we can get connected, whatever said and done. So all these efforts Papa is providing so that Ram Nam, it is something which we are practicing in our daily life. We don't have to again learn it. So, but the proper perspective has not been there so far. So now he is trying to, through the in-depth study of In Quest of God, he is trying to make our Ram Nam as effective as possible. Because Ram is the link between us and Ram. So that the name is the link between us and Ram. So in order to make us understand what the link means, that means behind my every thought, behind my every word, behind my every deed, Ram is there, Ram is there, Ram is there, Ram is there. Ram alone is there. That I should understand through chanting. So in order to understand this, he has provided all these things. So we will take it up tomorrow. You lost your network connection.
Yes.
Appropriate time. If it comes back, okay. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om.